Hello, my name is Benji and welcome to Dice vs Cards. I am talking to you in the year after last, and as with all New Years, they are full of hope and anticipation. And it's that second word I want to focus on over the course of the next few minutes. As board gamers, we are veritably spoilt for choice at any given time. There are hundreds and thousands and millions of games released each year, but how could we possibly spread our excitement that thin? As such, I will bring you what by consensus, at least on BGG, are the most anticipated games of the next 300 and something days. I've used a top secret algorithm to formulate this here list, so please do not ask to look under the hood. Just trust the Benji that he's got you covered with just a smattering of games that you might want to keep an eye out for. Today's episode will bring you some light to medium weight games, and next week we'll up the ante with some medium to heavyweight games. Mercado de Lisboa is of course on this list by virtue of its association with its parent game Lisboa, and the fact that it's designed by Vital. I love designing heavyweight games, Lacerda. This time though it's only a co-design credit for a more light to medium weight game of tile placement that in many ways is simply a distillation of one part of Big Mama Lisboa. Setting the scene with you as a budding local business owner, buying stands in the local market and opening new businesses that go full synergy with said stands, all the while lapping up the local custom and in so doing gobbling up the filthy lucre. As you pick one of the 4 available actions each turn, this is a game of spatial economy. Rows and columns, and it's up to you to get there first and get there with the most amount of multipliers to bring in the most amount of coinage. This is a game of economics, but one wrapped in a fairly accessible shell, and is sure to provide more mathy and thinky fare than you would normally find in a filler game. I'll definitely be keeping tabs on this one. Having never played Lisboa, I won't have a frame of reference for how much distillation of that game there is, but in terms of pedigree, you can't really ask for much more. Cascadia asks the question, how does a new designer and a relatively new design collaborative inspired publisher get a game on this here completely trend-setting list? Well, I suppose it's the pedigree of said group that have been partially or wholly responsible for titles such as the 2020 hit Calico and Point Salad amongst others. Still, there's a fair amount of buzz surrounding this lightweight tile placement and drafting game, where you concern yourself exclusively with the habitats and wildlife of the Pacific Northwest. What tickles my pickle here is this excerpt from the press description. Players must create a diverse and harmonious ecosystem, as each animal species has a different spatial preference, and each habitat must be placed to reduce fragmentation and create wildlife corridors. That to me at least sounds ruddy awesome, and this is where the puzzle elements come in. We're not talking about fitting polyominoes into some awesome points grabbing shapes here. It's all about what congregates where and what knock-on effect that has on the rest of the board. I don't know, I've just got a little bit of a feeling this one's going to be a big hit. Wingspan proved that people like a bit of wildlife in their engine builders, and so why not a more diverse cast in a tile placement puzzle game? Furnace is a light to medium weight engine builder where you play the role of a 19th century capitalist looking to build and expand their industrial empire over 4 rounds, each with 2 phases where you'll be auctioning via card drafting, with the highest bidder taking the card to their side of the table and the runners-up receiving compensation for at least putting their bowler hat in the ring, of a one-time boon of resources or a swap this for that opportunity. The second part of the round is when you use your growing tableau of cards to further gobble up resources, swappity-doo-dah them for others and upgrade your cards. All pretty vanilla when it comes to light to medium weight Euros, and here with an industrial themed jacket on. There's some global effects splashed in there too, but this is definitely a game that wants to situate itself nicely into that accessible engine builder space, you know, to make some coin of its own, nudge nudge wink wink. I think I'm most intrigued by the swap my sand for some gold dust mechanic as an accompaniment to the conventional tropes of this type of game, and so I'm lukewarmly looking forward to this one, and as always hope to be pleasantly surprised. Bullet, with a random heart on the end that someone a lot more pop culture savvy could probably explain to me, sees you taking on the role of heroines of a future Earth, using their powers to fight evil from without and within. So we've got a simultaneous action puzzle-like game with neon artwork on our hands here that offers both cooperative and competitive action, where you're drawing cardboard bullets, or at least I'm assuming they're cardboard, and placing them in Connect 4 like rows and columns based on the number and colour of the bullet. You're then looking to weave patterns on your character board, who each have variable player powers, and then hurl said bullets at the opponent. Draw and place the wrong bullets at the wrong time though by pushing your luck too far, and you may well be a goner. The action ramps up in each subsequent round though, because you'll be drawing more and more bullets each time, leaving less room for error. I must admit this isn't the first time sensitive simultaneous action game ever released, but it's managed to fit a visceral theme and a modular approach to what is ultimately a fairly lightweight game. Keep an eye on this one, I think it might catch on. Planet Unknown. Our planet has run out of resources and we are forced to move. My word, sing me a new song, Vicar. I of course jest, having never created a game in my life, I should not throw stones in glass houses. A polyomino tile placement game where each of the 1 to 6 players has their own planet to develop, with each dual resource tile that you place having an impact on the 2 actions you then take each turn. Okay, me likey the sound of where this is going. The tension comes with the threat of a meteor if you place a lethal cocktail of different terrain types on your planet. The medium weight depth does not end there though, as we have a lazy Susan in the box, ladies and gentlemen, that rotates as she is wont to do every turn, giving you access to different parts of the communal space station that sits on said Susan. There definitely seems to be enough innovation on offer here for us to prick up our ears, and the publisher's bold claim that it will distill a 3-hour medium weight game into about 70 minutes for any player count, by virtue of the simultaneous action elements, will surely have to be seen to be believed. So there you have it, a list of games to look out for this year in the light to medium weight category. There's no possible way this can be an exhaustive list, as there's too many games to go around. But it's a safe bet that the bulk of the community is looking forward to some, if not all of these titles a great deal. However, that's it from me. I'll see you next time.